He's so fancy. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome Thursday night to the Bait Shop. I am your host, the Chad. My Santa-looking friend co-host here. We got Mr. Freddie from Freddy's Outdoor Adventures. And we got Richard from Fishin N Freedom. I almost, like fully forgot that quick. I got stage fright, guys. You know, I'm new to this. We got 20. I don't know how many we got. We either have 18 or 25. I don't know. It's bouncing all over the place. Here waiting for us, we got Mr. Avid Fisherman, first in. We got Maurice Kaysen talking about the Chad syndrome. I'm not sure what that is. I mean, it's pretty good. Must be a good syndrome because I'm a pretty good looking fella. We got Sampy, Chrissy Brown, James Kirkpatrick. We got Freddy's Outdoor Adventure. Wait, we already said you're here. There's my friend Nina's kayak crew. We'll hear her giggling in the other room here shortly.
I can already hear us in the background.
I heard her earlier. She's adorable. We got Panfish Nation. What's going on, Lyle? My beautiful wife, Dee. We got Elizabeth Kirkpatrick Thomas. I heard that. We got Tatum D says, LOL, hey, there's my dear father. As you will see, Mr. Freddie did make the thumbnail this week. He's strategically placed coming out. I got a kick out of making that one, to be honest with you. We got Brian B. catfishing. We got Moat Creek fishing. Fish in the Mid-South. James Kirkpatrick. Murillo. Murillo family fishing. Trying to read his message and his name at the same time. My eyes went cross-eyed.
You got the beautiful Cindy Stokes in there.
Now, you can't take Cindy Stokes from me. You know, I'm like almost 6 feet under with her right now. I need all the.
Does that put me on strike two then?
You're back on strike two.
Yes.
We got Dale Hayslip, Central Valley Adventures, fishing with the squirrel. Who else you got in there? Anybody else?
Muskrat, Roger. What's going on, Roger? Catfish and Dreams, Parker Pursuits. And I know you've already said it, but the lovely D.
Yes, she is. We got B3 Customs. Crappy Day Fish On.
Oh, there's our favorite Dewey Cooter. Dewey Cooter's in the house.
Hey, Dewey. How you doing, Dewey Cooter? Uncle Lou is in the house tonight. We've got, let's see, you said, I would love to say hi to one of the sweetest, most awesome people in the state of Missouri, even though you've already took my thunder, Miss Cindy Stokes. Alan Piershala. We've got Lance McCugai, 3+1, and we got the Bug Man. And I think we're caught up. There's Epic Catfishes in the house. Hardwick Angling.
And it's
welcome.
All mine.
It's all mine.
It's all mine's in the chat.
You're all about trying to take ownership. It's all yours. We have nothing to do here. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, Richard, aka F&F, Fishin N Freedom. Welcome to the Bait Shop, my friend.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, sorry, I got to stop you right now. You're no longer welcome until I say hi to this person, and we'll go back and we'll thank you back again.
Okay. Right.
I cannot forget my friend, my sister, Miss Betty Jean Cross.
Oh,
I would have been in trouble because Mark would have probably rubbed that in quite a bit. We got Ronnie Cluck, and I seen the LG Bass. What's going on? Welcome everybody.
What's up, Ronnie?
Pontine Jody, my number one fan. So again, we'll try this again before I get yelled at for missing somebody else. Welcome to the show, there, Richard. Fishin N Freedom. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. It's finally it's nice to get to actually talk to you guys. I watch you every Thursday, and I watch Freddie all the time. Never actually got to speak to either one of you, so that's pretty cool. Appreciate it.
Why just me?
Oh, definitely a pleasure to have you on. I know you've done this once before on Mr. Avid Show.
Yes, sir. First show I ever did, first live I ever was part of was on Avid Show a few weeks ago.
That's right. Avid does a pretty good job of trying to get some of the newer names out there.
He does.
But like yesterday, it was yesterday, wasn't it, or the day before? I think it was yesterday. You were trying to test out your live and stuff like that, and I was in there for a few before bed, and the wife, I wouldn't have known until the wife had you on there, and I was like, you know what? I'm always really bad at reaching out and getting guests. And I said, why don't you be our guest tomorrow night? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And it was like, yeah. It was like one of the moments. It was great.
I'm glad you did.
That excitement's like his logo. You know that? Yeah, America.
That's like America. America right there, pal. Hey, Mr. Paul Meadow and John Boys. Look at it. It's like you're fanboys of each other. I like it.
Well, come on, Chad. Don't feel left out, buddy.
Yeah. The three amigos right again, right here.
That's right.
That is so scary. That is so scary. So, again, like I said, I know you've been on Mr. Avid Show, but tell us a little bit about where you fish, where you from, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in very southeast part of Missouri in the Boot Heel, for anybody that knows where it's at. A little town called Malden. And I have one major river. I'm about 35 minutes from the Mississippi, and I'm about 10 minutes from the St. Francis River. And just on the other side of that is Black River. I have a lake called Lake Wapapillo, which is just a man-made dammed reservoir.
Did you say Lake Waffle Pillow?
Yeah, Waffle Pillow. Yeah, Wapapopolo.
Is that like a bed and breakfast?
Yeah, it's like an Airbnb, man.
That's awesome.
It's apparently an old Native American name. It's called Wapapello. And, there's a lot of crappie, bass, flathead channels in there. I don't get to fish it too much. It's just so hard to bank fish, but I fished it a lot when I was younger. I have a boat. My brother, my dad, and myself did a lot of bass fishing, and my Uncle Rick, we did a lot of crappie fishing. Pretty good crappie fishing there. But here lately, probably the last 3-4 months, I've been stuck on the Mississippi because I've always caught a lot of channels and pretty good with flatheads, but man, them blue cats. I've discovered blue cats, and now I can't stay away from the Mississippi. St. Francis don't have them. Black River don't have them. The lake doesn't have them. So I have to head east, go to the river.
Those other rivers don't feed into the Mississippi?
They do way down river, but I don't know why. I've never seen a blue out of any of them. Never even heard of a blue out of them. I don't think they come up this far north. I think it's down south. Yeah, you would think they'd come upstream eventually, but I think it's down South Arkansas. It feeds into the Mississippi, and maybe they just don't come up this far or haven't made it yet. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd be hard pressed to believe that there's if it's flowing into the Mississippi, that they're not coming up into that water at some point.
That's what I would think, and maybe on the south end of the St. Francis or Black River, it is. But I haven't found one and never heard of anybody. Chad doesn't like Missouri. Yeah, I've heard that about Chad.
Now this is my redemption night, Cindy, that I'm having a person from Missouri on the show to show my love and support for the great state of Missouri.
I see what it is, Freddie. He had a Missouri guy come on to get back in good graces with Cindy because he wants those Cindy bonds.
Well, I'm not sure he really wanted you on. He just needed you as a patsy.
That's it.
Hey, that's okay. I mean, if you don't want to be on here, right here, watch. I mean, that's all I got to. This is all I got to do to you right here. I mean, now I can get back in here. I mean, if you don't want to be my patsy, I'll find somebody else.
I got you. How you know we get Dockery?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's obviously one of my favorite garden gnomes from the state of Missouri. Just curious, I gotta ask, how tall are you?
I'm about 5'11".
So you're above average probably for the state of Missouri, because everybody I've met from Missouri is about 5'4" and under.
He's a giant.
Yeah, I think so.
So we got Mr. Creole Catfishing came in.
You also got Hooks and Hammocks. Chris and Telly's in there, and they're in there with J Dog. If you didn't notice, he said they are on the boat with J Dog right now.
I did see J Dog. I didn't see Hooks. Again, I think he was born and raised in Missouri because he's also falls under that 5'4" and under category. But yeah, I did hear he ain't 6'2". I've stood next to him and almost stepped on him. But yeah, I did hear that he is around my neck of the woods and they were going out fishing. We have plans this weekend, if things work out, that we might be going fishing, a big group of us here on the Ohio River. Calling it birthday fishing time. Hey, Mindy, what's going on?
Whose birthday?
Somebody in the community has a birthday next week, and I believe Hooks. Shut up. Hooks and Hammocks has one coming up as well, I think, and we're gonna have a little birthday fisheroo. So, shut up, Bill. I see you in there. Anyway, don't you like how I just tell people in the chat to shut up?
You talking about somebody being shorter or taller in person. I got to meet Chris and Telly. Awesome guys, by the way. They're just they're just
whoa.
really nice people, man.
Guys, now you can't say guys. You meant you met the wonderful, beautiful Telly and the munchkin with her.
Yeah, Chris. You took the words out of my mouth. That's what I was thinking. But then I also met Ryan Bortz. You always see him sitting down in the kayak. That dude is tall. Way taller than he looks on camera. I seen him and I walked up, shook his hand, was like looking up to him. That guy's a giant. He's probably 6'4", man.
Oh, easy. I met him a few times now, but I met him down here. He was in a kayak tournament at the same place on the Ohio River that we launched a boat tournament, and I was like, "Holy cow! Yeah, you're a pretty tall boy."
Mm-hmm.
So. But you are right, Chris and Telly, they're awesome people.
They are.
Telly's 10 times better, but that's just my opinion. But let's get back to Fishin N Freedom. So how'd you come up with your name? I want to know that.
Well, it's just two of my favorite things. Originally I was trying to think of names for my channel. I was thinking, okay. At first I thought, okay, faith, family, fishing, and freedom. I was like, man, I'll call it like F4, like a tornado. That's clever. That'll be awesome. Well, I looked it up and somebody already had it. And I was like, okay,
really?
Well, yeah, there's already a guy. And I commented, hey, I almost stole your name, but good job on the name. And so I was thinking, okay, well, the fishing and freedom part was kind of catchy. That's two of my favorite things. I absolutely love fishing and I love my freedom. So I just combined two of my favorite things and here's my name. And it just kind of says a lot about me. When you watch my channel, that's all you see is either me fishing or riding a motorcycle or just enjoying this great country and the freedom to do all the stuff that we get to do. Thanks to people like Mr. Freddie there. Thank you for your service, by the way, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. It's all about that right there.
That's it.
Hats off to Freddie.
Which goes with that right there.
That's right.
That is a perfect design, in my opinion, for a sticker. So great job on that.
But that was interesting. Hold on one second. Do I mind if we share Hardwick Angling's link? I do not mind as long as, I appreciate people dropping anybody's link in here. Just, obviously we don't want to just spam over and over and over the same one. I'd like to share more than just one person. So if you could, that'd be great. I have no problem with that, guys. But yeah, trying to come up with a name. I love that. I mean, I know it was a little small process for you, but I think it's very interesting that F4 was taken. But coming up with it because I'm not an original person. I'm just like fishing with the Chad. I was cool when I changed the E to an A. Whatever.
But it's a good name. It's memorable. It's a cool name.
Yeah,
and the name is just like anything I do. I'm kind of creative. I used to play music. I was in a bunch of different bands. I've played all kinds of different music and instruments. And so to me, making video, that's one reason I haven't went live yet either, is I can't control that. I can't polish it, fine tune it. Whatever happens, happens, So if I say something dumb, I can't, edit it out just the making of the videos process is kind of a creative thing. It's kind of an art, and I really enjoy that. Now, as far as the technical, like editing, the computer stuff, I suck at. Thank God my wife is really tech savvy. She edits all the videos and makes all that. But I just enjoy the process, and it's kind of creative and fun.
Now, I've gotten the editing a little bit better over time on my phone.
Yeah.
But this stuff on the laptop, these different things,
yeah,
I feel like I'm like a newborn looking at something from NASA that they just gave me to take a test on, and I can't figure it out. But Epic Catfish says that he met you at CatCon and you are ate up with catfishing like the rest of us.
Absolutely. I got the sickness, bro. Sure do. And I had a great time talking with Epic and Sean, Catfish Heroes. Man, we just sat there in the middle, everybody walking around shopping, and we were just sitting there discussing different tactics and stuff for blue cats. Because, like I said, I'm kind of new to blue cat. I've always channel cat and flathead fish, but I called myself blue cat fish, and I'd go to the river and just throw something in the water and hope for the best. But Epic was talking to me about different baits and stuff that he uses and what works on the Mississippi. And yeah, I was soaking it up like a sponge. I really enjoyed his talks too. He did out there the 2 days. He did 2 seminars. Those were excellent. But
yeah,
everybody did a great job. Everybody did a great job, but I really liked Epic's just because I want those big boys too. I want those monsters. I'm out there throwing the giant baits and stuff, trying to catch those hogs. So I really ate that up.
Now, speaking of Epic, he's probably the first person you want on your boat once you go fishing, especially if you need a new rod and reel, because he is bound to throw one off the back of a boat again here soon.
That is true.
One ripped off, like in that one video. He had one just ripped plumb off the back of his boat.
Yeah, he's had a couple ripped off. He's just launched a couple in there, throwing those huge baits that he uses. But yeah, he'd be a key person for you to keep in contact with, especially on the Mississippi. He fishes it a good bit from what I hear. And so
once I get the boat up and running, I'll probably be bugging him, picking his brain as far as locations and stuff. And yeah.
Well, we're gonna say hi to Miss Tara Blackburn, my BFF. What's going on, Bobcat?
My BFF. You can't have both Cindy and Tara.
We've got Mr. Catfishing Crappie. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, Mark. What's up, buddy?
I'm debating on letting him back in or not. Catfishing ain't easy.
He's only on strike 2.
He's pouting. Let's let him back in. I hate to see Santa Claus cry. But now that was gonna be another question I had. Is you mentioned a boat, but I was gonna ask you, do you bank fish mostly, or boat, or what's up with that?
Bank most of that. I had a couple boats when I was younger and ended up selling them, and so I've been with that one for a while now. And I bought one, but it just needs a lot of work. I've been kind of buying parts a little at a time, and I mean, boat means bust out another 1,000, and that ain't no joke, man.
I think that's an understatement, to be honest, anymore.
But yeah, I've got the majority of it figured out. I think now just get the parts, putting them on, and yeah, I can't wait to get it on the water though, because it'll just open up a whole new river basically. Because I'm fishing this tiny little portion that I can get to from the bank, and I can't wait to get out on the water and be able to get in those wintering holes, find that underwater structure and all that, and use all these tips and tricks I've been learning watching, all these videos. I don't really get to do sitting on the bank. Of course, I like bank fishing too. I'll lazy man fishing. Nothing wrong with sitting back on a bucket and just hanging out. I enjoy that too, but I'm ready to get out and get serious about chasing some of those big blues and finding all those structures and stuff.
Yeah, you're definitely right there on the waters where you can catch a monster.
Yes, sir. There's some hogs in there.
Absolutely. That's one of my dream fishing trips is to go down there and really fish the Mississippi. Hopefully with somebody that knows and not just by myself, right? Knows a little bit about the river and stuff, because the Ohio is a good river to learn how to, boat and fish and stuff on like that. But the Mississippi is just a different animal.
It's a whole different for sure.
Yeah.
And see, I've never really fished it much in a boat. So it's going to be, my learning curve is going to be just how to anchor right in the river. I mean, you got to be able to anchor right and keep everything and have a big enough anchor and watch out for barges. We get 20 barges an hour sometimes coming by there. It's ridiculous. So
I've heard stories, and ours here run 3 wide and 5 deep max. And I've heard stories about the Mississippi where they're running like 70 something freaking barge, and they're like, I don't know how many wide and how many deep, but it's incredible here.
I worked on a tugboat for a little while over here out of Marston, New Madrid, Missouri, and yeah, there's some come through there to take up the whole river almost 60, 70
Really?
barges. Yeah,
That's insane.
Average 20, 30 barges they're pushing upriver, 5, 6 wide.
That's just be miraculous to see. Because when we took D down to Alabama, we fished with Doc and stuff, and he was telling stories and stuff about some of his guys that he knows that run the barges and stuff like that. And one of them was just like I said, it was like 70 something or 100 barges. They had to stop at one of the dams and break it all down because after a certain point they're only allowed so many. It changes and stuff like that.
Right.
I can't imagine how do you navigate that? It's like that's how far ahead of you are these barges that you have to know what's going on.
It's sketchy, man. I mean, you're talking like football fields ahead of you.
Yeah.
Good sonar and good maps, I guess.
Okay, I think I got everyone. Go figure. Yeah, Mark was late. Mr. Tim Molina, what's going on, buddy?
There's also Thomas from Laughing Cats just jumped in. He said, "Why you keep picking on me, Chad?"
Who did?
Thomas from Laughing Cats.
I ain't picking on Thomas. I seen Mr. Thomas pop in.
You said I'm picking on Freddie.
Who?
Yeah, that other guy.
Dude, Chad is rolling.
I know.
Going pretty good. I've seen Sandy. What's going on? And I've seen Justin's Fishin' Fetish. Eric Massey. Hopefully I didn't miss
Miss Serena's in here now as well.
Yeah, Epic is saying 10 to 12 long.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. Art from One Ton Fishing Club.
Hey, Art.
But
I seen my brother coming there too a while ago. I didn't know if he heard me. So what's up, Ronnie? My brother coming here to watch tonight.
Nice.
It's nice bringing in the big crowd tonight, Freedom. Thank you. I appreciate that, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, well, you see, what we're gonna yap about. Besides your lack of going live skills that you possessed last night, how long you really been starting to do the YouTube stuff?
Since July.
July?
I put out my first video like July 20th of this year.
Yeah.
And from then to now, I've put out 25 videos. So I'm just kind of doing the shotgun approach. Some of them suck. Some of them are pretty good, but I figured I always heard consistency on YouTube is key. Always consistently put out videos, and the YouTube algorithm likes that. And then, of course, people that watch you like that, they want to see more. So I'm just, every time I go fishing, if I catch a fish, no matter what kind, I'll make some sort of little video out of it just to kind of keep people, keep me in their mind. And just, that's real fishing to me. I'm not always going to go out and catch monsters or catch what I'm after. Sometimes I just go out and have a rough day and only catch a few fish. And
that's a rough day?
That's a real day. That's real fishing and real content. I'm not trying to be flashy or anything. So I
thought you said rough.
Do what?
I thought you said it was a rough day. I was like, man, 2 fish? That's a great day around here.
Well, that's on a good day. I probably could have made 100 videos if I actually caught something. I went out and I'd get nice footage and do all these nice intros and don't catch nothing and never get to use it.
Yeah, I have done it so many times. Getting B-roll, and I'll go out there and I will actually remember to film like hey, this is what we're doing today. This is where we're at. And then I won't catch a fish, and I'll go back like a week later. And I'm like, I guess I'll just delete that now. I don't need it. Didn't catch no fish.
I've deleted probably 50 intros. So now I've got to where I just go out and try it. And if I catch something, then I'll be like, hey, we're over here doing this. And I'll hold up a fish or something.
What's that? I don't know.
I got no clue. I'm still just doing lives right now. So the videos, I'm out of the loop on.
Two Stan said, did somebody say 2 fish? What's up, 2 Stan?
2 fish. But no, yeah, you're right with the consistency stuff. And that's kind of like, what why we decided when we first started doing the bait shop, it was going to be originally us rotating weeks and stuff, but Dockery said since he didn't really want to push his channel and I did, that we would do this weekly on my channel. That way I had consistently have something going out. Because, yeah, I mean, sometimes life and work get so busy, it's hard sometimes to get that kind of stuff out. But two things that I think work with that for you is one, you're always getting, even if it's a short video, like you said, it's keeping you out there and, in the front of everybody's eyes. But two, everyone you do, if you do a little bit of editing or anything like that, you're learning better of how to use that, software that you're using, whether it's an app or.
Right. Yeah, my wife's using, I think it's Filmora is what she used. And at first we was able to just, cut it here, cut it there. And she's gone miles ahead with it. She can add music and really cool effects, going from this scene to that scene. She's really good with it. So yeah, it's just practice, even if it's a short little video, it wasn't that great. It's good practice.
All right. There's our first chat question there, Chad. You see it from Mo Creek?
I do see it. Let's see what he says here.
What's up, Rob?
Richard, what's your favorite fish besides catfish? Well, you all done heard him earlier. He said he was a dag-blasted ditch pickler.
Used to be. I hadn't done a lot of bass fishing.
Oh, now he's backtracking, ladies and gentlemen. Used to be.
I'm crawdadding now. No, I'd have to say probably crappie. I love crappie fishing. That's what I grew up doing mostly, and I love eating them. They're my favorite eating fish. And there's just something about crappie fishing. We do a lot of trolling, 4 or 5 rods out, and just all of them going down at once and pulling them old slabs in. I love it. That or jigging up in a brush pile or something. That's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'd definitely say crappie, but the past probably year or so, probably since I found fishing channels on YouTube, I started seeing all these big catfish, and I just got hooked, man. I can't let these catfish alone. I've been wanting to do a crappie video. I've got a little 12-foot John boat. I've been wanting to go do a little crappie fishing, and I can't stay away from the river long enough.
We've started getting more into the crappie fishing and stuff, and I've just recently tried trolling for the very first time, and that was you're talking about having 4, 5, 6 rods all go down at once. That's pretty cool. And, until you realize that it's just one big snag.
Yeah, that happened too. Speaking of crappie fishing, something else I'm trying to get into is I was listening to, I think Lyle and Mark and them was talking about making their own jigs, tying jigs.
Yeah.
And I just said something in chat one time, like, man, I'd really like to try that. And anyway, Rob from Mo Creek got a hold of me, and
dude,
Rob's an awesome guy. Well, he's fixed me up, man. He got me started with everything I need to start tying my own jigs. And I've got me a little table in my spare room, still cleaning up, getting it all set up, and kind of watching a lot of videos on that too, and how to tie jigs. And that's something that's really cool, because I could do that, at night after work, bad weather, can't go fishing. I can sit down and tie jigs, and it's just cool. It's another creative thing. You can go as flashy as you want to with it, or just make just a regular old jig, but it's just something pretty cool to know that I'm going to be able to catch a fish with something I made, So yeah, thanks again for that, Rob.
Yeah,
if you haven't checked out Rob's channel, any of you guys, you need to. He's got an awesome channel, and he's a good guy.
Yeah, Rob's pretty awesome, and me and him kind of started getting into the jig tying about the same time when Lyle started costing us all about a paycheck a month over that stuff, getting all the gear and stuff. But yeah, it's addicting, but it's fun, and it's relaxing, to be honest with you, when you can break away and just do your thing, and like you said, when you actually go out there and you catch fish with them on the first, for the first time, you're like, I made that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty neat. And plus, next year, after I get decent at it, I'm gonna make up a bunch of jigs for like my brother and dad for Christmas, and save me a lot of money on Christmas presents. I'll just make jigs. Here you go.
Trust me. Once the addiction hits you, it will not be saving you any money. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's kind of what Rob said too. He's like, "Sorry, bud, to do this to you. You're gonna be hooked."
Hey, at least he apologized to you first. Lyle didn't. He just said, "Here you go."
Right.
And then he just started making fun of us every week. Want to say hi to Miss Sharina, keeping it real, and Scott Swift. Seen they came in the house.
What's up, Sharina? I was rooting for Sharina earlier. I was listening to the One Worm Challenge, and I was rooting for her the whole time.
Yep. Then speaking of, there's Miss Dana Parker.
Hi, Miss Parker.
Owner had to jiggle of crafting.
Speaking of jig companies in here as well, they jumped in since we hadn't told them. I
was gonna say, you wanna really watch on some jig tying stuff and get some ideas of patterns and how to do it. Watch Eric Massey Jig Company. He's got tons of great videos out there.
Eric Massey, I believe I have watched some of his videos. I just got on YouTube and typed in, jig tying, and that guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he makes it look easy, man.
Yeah, I watch some of his stuff, and then when I can, and then Kim Burnett on Facebook. He goes live on Facebook and ties jigs and stuff. He's pretty daggone good at it too. And when I say good, that means an understatement. So
really, I went back and watched some of the Saturday night jig time videos that Lyle did. It had Lyle and Mark and a few others on there, and I was just sitting there watching each one of them kind of.
Sorry, that nothing to see here. That's just my supplier, guys. Nothing to see here. He's my dealer.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you a holler soon, my friend. See what you got under the Christmas tree. I promise you all, Creole Catfish. I promise you all that Lyle is costing him way more money than any of us with this jig tying stuff.
I don't know. Was there a house reference in that comment? Did Creole say himself?
# build the house.
Yeah, I believe there definitely is, and I keep meaning to message Laura that the blueprints for it look a little small. That I think Jeremy could do a little bit better on size and dimensions and offer her a little bit more. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah,
I could probably use a few more square feet. I'm with you on that.
Let's say we're doing pretty well here on number of people. So if you guys don't mind, I want to throw out something here on the Winter Blues tournament.
Before you do that, Chad, can I say one thing to the chat channel out there? Everybody that's out there.
One thing.
We all what?
One thing. Go ahead.
Okay, 1 minute, not a second.
Oh, now you want a whole minute? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Now you're taking over the show.
Just for a minute, and then you can have it back. But everybody knows out there in chat that Chad and Dee have done a great job. Chad has pushed his channel and push it. He hit that magical 1K and hit that 4,000 hours he needed, but we're struggling to get the monetization. But with that, in his description, there is his PayPal link. So since you can't super chat or put super stickers, there's always that possibility to go in there, shoot him a little something on the PayPal if you don't mind. If you got a little dollar here or there, there's a good thing with that because he'll get a good bit more than he would through YouTube anyway. Not as much taken away. So if he graces the hearts and things like that, but since we don't have stickers and super chats, there's always his PayPal link. Hit him up, show him some love if y'all don't mind. Done.
I'm going to give you the floor more often. I'm just kidding. No, seriously, thank you, Freddie. I don't normally ever push that, but it is definitely appreciated. If and when anybody ever wants to or can, do appreciate it. Yeah, we don't know what's going on with the monetization thing. The deal is not to make millions off here and quit my job. I would love it if that ever happened. I'd turn my badge in a heartbeat if it was able to happen, but let's be realistic that'll probably never happen for 99% of us. We just need to keep continuing to have fun. I'll try back here again in a couple of days and see what happens and see if I don't get another rejection message. I'm hoping to get the approval for somebody special's birthday that's coming up. I won't mention who it is. Hopefully nobody knows whose birthday's coming up because I know some people would like payback on what I did to them. But anyway, moving on to the Winter Blues tournament. So I called some stink and, Catfish and Crappie Mark has called me so many names behind the scenes and stuff because of what I did. He's caused a ruckus with some of the fellow anglers in the community because I put a 5-pound minimum. So the only this year will we do most fish will win it, but we put a stipulation they have to be only fish over 5 pounds count. We will still have the big fish. And I was thinking the other day, we don't have that took away our little fish charity, right? So what I'm doing is I'm replacing that to make those beautiful people happy that are so upset with me right now. Yes, the Baldwin Lake people. We're going to call them out by name. But the Little Fish Award will go then to the most fish under 5 pounds. So if Freddie's fishing and he catches 10 fish under 5 pounds and he catches 5 fish over, I know this is being exaggerating because I don't think he can catch that many fish. Nina might be able to, but I don't know about that. Shut up, Mark. I seen that. MD. So those 5 fish that were over would count towards the overall winner category. Those 10 would go towards, the 10 under 5 or 5 pounds would go towards I think we're going to call it the Dinkins Award.
That's a good name.
I think that the Brian B. Dinkins Award.
Yeah, that's got a good ring to it, and it matches what it's for.
It just rolls off the tongue. It sounds good. I like it.
Yeah, it's just It does rolls right off of your tongue, right? The Brian B. Dinkins Award.
Yeah.
We replaced the Dockery Award with the Brian B. Dinkins Award. That's what we will go with this. Hey, welcome to the channel there, Rustic. Did you see that today? I did not see. Let me go find it. Danny Stone Outdoors. Danny says, no one, now he knows why you haven't answered your phone.
Yeah.
Fish on.
Don't look, Jay, just keep talking.
Right now, I think Rustic Outdoors, that's
okay.
David.
Here we go.
Fishing.
So question, bank fishing, no current, impoundment lake. What type of setup would you recommend for a beginner? Interesting question.
That's a good question.
Bank fishing, no current, impoundment. Depends on, in my mind, what's in the water. Is it rocks? Is it mud bottom, sand bottom? With no current, I would say just Carolina rig. If you got some rocks around, to kind of target those rocks. If you could got some snags that is there, you can see maybe the tops of some brush piles, get close to those, and just Carolina rig. That's where I would go.
Now be careful with the Carolina rig, though. If you got a lot of turtles.
Oh yeah, yeah, and a lot of rocks. Carolina may not be the way to go if it's like a lot of riprap on a dam wall or something. You may want to do like a 3-way rig with a break off leader because you're going to get snagged a lot. And it's easier to replace a sinker than a whole rig, swivels, hooks, and all that. That's what I kind of have to do over at the river. I've always used a Carolina rig, and it's still my favorite rig, but I had to go to a 3-way with a breakaway line because it's so rocky over there, especially bank fishing. You're going to lose a lot of lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people will say the same thing on their channels, and when this kind of questions asked is, one of the big things to look for, and it's very free. It's totally free. Go to Google and Google Navionics, and find the chart viewer of that, and find that lake. People are talking about, Catfish and Dream says find the structure, right? To me, it's more of, I'm always going to find the structure because I'm going to get snagged on it. But it's more about finding those contours and seeing what's going on where I'm going to go fishing, right? As far as rig, that's totally up to you. I will still use even in a lake a Santee type rig with a float on it, or even with the rattles. They're not going to do much, maybe unless they get tapped. But I don't change up my my rigs very much. Just even in the wintertime and stuff, people will take the floats off and they'll let their baits free hang and stuff like that. if my leader's good, I'm going to adjust the float and stuff like that to get it off different levels. But what I'm saying is finding, where those holes might be or those ledges, like what you're saying. There might be rock ledges and stuff like that. Finding those drops and figuring out just where they might be, and then it's a game of chess, right? Are they deep? Are they shallow? And you gotta. When I try to fish a lake, it's casting one that's probably going to be 10 yards off the bank, another one that's 20, another one that's 30, trying to see where they're at, right? It's just finding where they are in that lake, and every lake's going to be different for the most part, with water temperature, your overall depth, what those fish have as structure and stuff like that. So but you'll be able to find out a little bit better if you're trying to stagger and figure out where they are at different times of the year.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
There's the next question.
I'll pitch one out and then one midways out, and I'll launch one as far as I can go. And yeah, Navionics is probably one of the coolest things they've come up with for fishing in a long time. I look at it. That's how I found like that place I was trying out last night. I'd never been there. I was just looking around on Navionics and seeing, wow, there's a big hump next to a ledge in deep water next to shallow water. It's got to be good, So just go try it.
Yeah, and to piggyback on the rig style, if you can use multiple rods, I'd say it's like here in South Carolina, we can use four rods from the bank. Put two Carolina and two Santee, or 2 3-ways and one Santee and one Carolina, till you find what works best in your area.
Yeah, it's a numbers game, man. If you're getting all your hits on your Santee rig, maybe they're not on the bottom. Try a float on a couple more and see if that works.
Yeah.
Mostly
the guy got a good question for you. He said, "What rig did you catch your PB on?"
I'm glad you mentioned that, Lance. I actually caught my PB on a slide rig. First time I'd ever used a slide rig, and I didn't know a slide rig existed till Lance put out a video talking about them. And we was on Patriot James one night, and James brought him up, and he was showing this rig. I thought that's the coolest thing I ever seen. And I had to order some, so I actually got one right here for you guys that haven't seen one. It's pretty basic. There's a swivel and this big old ring right here, right? Tie your main line there, your sinker there. You just cast it out there, no hook or anything. Launch that dude wherever you want. And then it's got this pigtail. Well, yeah, there's a pigtail right there. I don't know if you can see it. You actually like corkscrew that onto your line, and then your leader and your baits right there. Put it on there, and just like a zip line, send it down. Here. And I thought, man, I'll play around with it and just see if it works. And sure enough, I ended up catching my PB on it within about an hour.
I promised I wouldn't do this to you, but I'm going to. So show us that again. Oh, it's all you, buddy.
There you go.
All right. There's this part goes on first. You tie your main line to that big ring.
Yeah.
Tie your sinker down there, and just cast it out, and then come back, and I don't know if you can see that. There's like a corkscrew right there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Corkscrew that up until your line's going through this hole. Your leader, your hook, and your bait. Just slide it down the rig. And this one's weighted, and this one's one that's unweighted. And what I was talking with Lance about is I think this is going to be really good for flatheads. Like if you've got a big log jam, or you got a lot of brush pile or a whole tree down, and you're not sure where the fish are on that brush pile, well, you can throw this thing out, and it's kind of like a dog on a lead. You've seen them stretch between two trees.
Yeah.
This bait can just it's kind of like free line and bait, but he can only free line through the area you want. And he can go down the whole length of that line next to a tree or a brush pile. And I think flatheads is going to be killer. And he had mentioned that, and I got to think about it. I think it's going to be really cool. I can't wait to try that out in the spring. But I know it works on blues.
Yeah, I do. I remember Lance. I can't remember whose show it was on now. I think it might have been Patriots.
Yes, sir.
Where he was showing that setup and stuff. I thought that was pretty interesting. I'd never seen something like that before.
Yeah. At first, I messed up and ordered the wrong ones. It's a Hawaiian slide rig, but I ordered that. And that's called an Australian slide rig because Australia and Hawaii is so similar, right? I just messed up and got the wrong ones. So I'm going to try this thing out too. It's kind of the same way. It just corkscrews on your line and just runs up and down your line that way. So I'm all about trying something new. I mean, I've been stuck on using a Carolina rig since I was a kid. And so now after watching videos and watching all you guys, I'm like, a Santee rig. So I started buying floats and playing around with that. And then, I'm doing the 3-way rig. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can. And hey, why not try new things? It's paying off so far. I've caught one decent fish on it and learning how to use it. And I think it's just another tool in your toolbox,
Yeah, honestly, up until probably about 2 years ago, that's all I used was a Carolina rig. Until I got my boat and really started learning about dragging baits and stuff like that. That's when I pretty much switched to the Santee Cooper. But between the Santee Cooper and the Kentucky double hook rig, that's all I pretty much use now. But it's if you don't learn about these different ones, and I think that's what I think interesting about this one you're sharing is it's one that none of us really have ever seen until Lance brought it up. And maybe there is some people that really know a little bit more, about that kind of stuff than I probably can give them credit for, but I would say the majority of us didn't know. Right. So
I'd never even heard of the thing. And
I've
been talking with Lance a little bit. I think something that's really cool about it is, you're in a good spot. You've thrown out there, maybe they're just not biting yet. You just want to freshen up your bait. Where I'm at, reeling in, you're a good chance you're going to get hung up and lose it, or you just don't want to try to cast right back in the same spot. You can put as many of these as you want on your line. You can just keep sending baits down all night, man. That's another thought too. You can just tie on a new leader, slide another one right down on top of it. They won't get hung up or anything. They're all swiveled, and it's just a neat rig. I'm glad Lance showed it to me. I think you got a lot of options with that one. I'm going to try it a bunch of different ways.
Did you really just call Brian B the monster catcher? I gotta have a talk with her after the show. Well, when it's like a book long, it takes the whole screen. Anyway.
Jeez.
But no, I can see that what you was just saying. I'd be the type of person after about 5-10 minutes, like I ain't catching a fish. I'd be reeling in about 30 of them on a line and still not catch fish. But whatever. Is what it is. I failed to mention hello, Mr. JBT. What's going on, buddy? Oh, look, now Brian's all cry laughing like, oh, I love you, D.
Brian, that's the Potomac Punisher, right? Ain't that his name?
Oh, sorry.
No,
hold
it's
on.
Brian Dinkins. He's not a Punisher.
Oh, okay.
He was part of that trio that did win against the Tennessee crew, but it was 2 Punishers and a Dinkin.
I'm trying, Brian B. I'm trying.
Hold on 1 second.
I'll see that. Well, while Chad's away, if nobody knew, the person's birthday this coming week on the 8th is, and he will be that old.
I'm trying. I can't even click on my screen.
Well, you're good. Just stay over there upside down. It don't matter. You remember you said we were like BFFs down here now, fanboys of each other. So we'll just hang out and talk.
That was kind of a big number, Freddie. What was that number again?
Ooh, what was that number? Ooh, yeah, that guy down there. Well, down there. How do I? Yeah, that way. So that way will be that age. On the 8th. So on the 8th, make sure you send a Facebook message. Oh, he got back too quick. Facebook message Chad.
Sorry, I'm going to have to go finish this off with my crappy laptop camera here. I don't know what just happened. I think my phone might have overheated. And I did see and hear everything because I do have this up on my laptop, Frank.
I'm on strike 2.5 now, folks.
Yep. Thin ice, bud. You're on thin ice.
Freddie,
Richard, do you want to start a new channel over there?
Look, now you're in charge. You're the in charge spot.
Yes, it's the Freddie Show.
The Freddie Show. I may holler at you in the spring though. Some of you, I'm gonna have to reach out to some of you guys. I've got a really good idea, I think, for like a challenge or a tournament.
Yeah.
And this is the second time I've ever used StreamYard, so I'm not even up on all this stuff. So I may holler at somebody that'd be willing.
There's quite a few. There's
Anybody
quite
that would be willing.
more of that guy than this
Yeah.
guy because
I've got
I
an
don't
idea
even know how
for
to
a
do a
really
giveaway
cool,
tool yet.
Oh yeah.
If you
I've
need
got
any
an idea
help,
for a really cool little challenge I'd like to try to do or put on, and people seem to really like those. I think this one would just be a real fun one, and we need some help with that one, man.
you have me on Messenger and stuff. If you want to get my phone number, just text me, let me know. And if you need any help figuring some things out, we can always set something up too, and you can go in and just play around and do different stuff. You know, like here, woo, there, hey, look, there's Freddie, and you learn all this. Like, hey, look, there's Fishin N Freedom.
All right.
Okay, we don't want to see that guy. Let's get back. But yeah, you can learn to do different stuff, how to share and how to do the giveaway tool and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You know, one of these days, Chad will actually give me power where I can click on some of these people's stuff, and because D had a great comment there. I'm just saying.
What? This one, Mark, I call him Two Freddy's Fishing since he's taking over, trying to take over YouTube.
I'm like on everybody's show these days, you know.
I know.
Well, I'm learning. I learned from the man, Two Stan himself.
Wait, Two Stan does lives? I never see him on.
No.
Have you heard about a sturgeon though?
I never heard that he even caught one.
Well, by the way, I can't show you because I don't have the picture, but it was 222 pounds.
Just so you know, if you bring that up, I know other channels are getting 222. I'm charging 444.
Okay, I got you.
What's going on, Steve Mosley? We got a couple minutes here left, guys, but I do want to make sure that since we still have a ton of awesome folks in here, to make sure you go over and check out Panfish Nation. After this, they have, I believe it is, I hope I get the channel name right, Floppin' Crappie on. Pretty good channel if you're into crappie fishing. It's a good one to check out. So,
and it was caught on this medium action Uncle Lou's rod.
You know you're not getting, hey, Betty Jean. You know you're not getting more than 3 strikes. So you're at 2 3/4 right now. The only thing saving you right now is Nina.
What, her laughing in the other room that you can hear?
Actually, I think she's been semi-quiet tonight. I haven't been able to
shut the door like she said.
Oh, poor Nina. She's such a sweetheart.
So Richard, what's up? What's next for you? Are you going to fish the whole month of December and January with the cold weather, like some of us, or?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it all winter. This will be the first year I've never not shut down in September for deer season. Usually from September 15th to February 15th, I'm in the woods every minute I get, you know. But this year I'm actually going to stick with it and try out this cold water catfishing, and I'm going to try to get on them blues this winter. So I'll be out there in coveralls, and I don't care if I have to build a fire, man. I'm going to be out there after them.
Yeah, it definitely takes a different demeanor than going out there during the summer and the spring and the fall. You know, when you get out there and it's 10, 20, 30 degrees, or, you know, in some people's cases last year, fishing in single digits with wind chills at -10, it's a different ball game out there. You know, you got to think about some different stuff, but the fishing definitely changes, and you got to learn to figure out where they're at.
I think that's why
Team Wampus Cat just jumped in. I want to make sure I hollered out the Team Wampus Cat. You know, they're Carolina boys, so got to make sure I say welcome. Great having you in the chat tonight.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Who'd you say? I seen Mr. Wampus Cat made it in. No, see, she's not actually even listening to the show. I've already said hi again to Betty.
Well, hi, Betty.
I guarantee you I know why, because all she's doing is sitting in chat, her and Brian B and Catfish and Crappie, talking about me is all they're doing. They're not paying attention to the actual great episode that we're putting on here tonight with the awesome Fishin N Freedom. So
yeah, I see where Parker Pursuits just said one thing he learned real fast about streaming was turn your notifications off. After doing the Avid show, going back and watched it, I kept hearing all these ding, so tonight my wife was made sure and turned the notifications off.
Yeah, it definitely helps. And I know what Parker's talking about.
He said some of his YouTube fam helped him, broke him of that real quick.
Yeah, some of his YouTube fam might have helped teach him unconventionally that when he goes live to turn Do Not Disturb on, because, and it's weird. I'm thinking it's maybe phone to phone or service to service that it does it, because I get phone calls on my phone when I'm streaming. I just hit decline and it doesn't do anything, but poor Parker, it would kick him out and everything else when he was doing it. So,
yeah, Parker, that'd be great. He just said we need to get together and do some winter fishing. He's Parker's only about, I think, Perryville, maybe a couple hours, hour and a half, 2 hours north of me. And
okay,
yeah, I'd love to fish with him up on the river because, man, he's got that wintertime river fishing figured out. You know, he catches some fish. I'd like to pick his brain and just hang out with him and do some fishing with you. That'd be fun, Parker.
You should. I mean, those guys don't mind, like him and Josh Dunnigan. They're not that far away from you guys. You can get together and do some fishing. I'm glad I made Wampus Cat proud.
That's right. You said crappie, not crappie.
Crappie.
What is it, Freddie? Are you a crappie or a crappie guy?
I'm a crappie fisherman.
Okay. What about you, Chad?
He's a crappie.
Say that one more time.
You crappie or you crappie fish?
Yeah, it depends on the day. Sometimes it's a good crappie day, and then other days it's just a really crappy day.
It's a really crappy day. I understand.
Yeah. Honestly, it depends on my brain, the way my brain is. It depends on probably on who I'm talking to and how I'm speaking that day, to be honest with you.
I got you.
We got about 3 more minutes, and you got anything to say out there, Richard? Just you want to put out anything to the community out there?
I don't get it.
Yeah. Again, I'd like to say thanks to everyone. Like I said, when I first came in, I was a brand new newcomer, but you guys just welcomed me right in and started just talking to me in chats, inviting me to events, inviting me into your shows, and just thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad to have found all you guys, and it's been a big help for me. Just learning different techniques, tricks, and how to video and stream and stuff. But I just want to say thanks, and thanks for all the views and everything. You guys kind of supporting the channel, and just thanks for watching and for I guess wanting to see me fish. So appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Well, there's a lot of us in this community now, and it's continuing to grow. I don't see it slowing down. There's going to be more and more pop up and all that kind of stuff, and everybody can take a little piece of the pie and try it out and see what's going on if it's for them. Some of us are going to find out it's not for us, and we're just going to be fanboys of people like you, right? That are going to be out there catching monsters, and you're going to be, entertaining and not like me. And Freddie's out there entertaining. He's funny and all that kind of stuff. Brian B. is funny looking. So. There's a lot of good stuff out there, and I think as long as everybody continues to try to support and offer
the making videos and getting views and all. I mean, that's great. We're all kind of shooting for that, but to me, that's really only half the reward so far. It's honestly getting to just meet this whole other community of people that I would have never met in my life if it wasn't for YouTube, and always having somebody that you just like to see and chat and say hi to, and helps make the day go by talking to each other and chat. And like I said, if you ever need help, everybody's been just really generous about just, hey, for real, reach out if you ever need anything. And I'm starting to go to, I went to CatCon in Kansas City, going to Louisville, getting to finally meet some of you guys in person. So yeah, man, I really enjoy that part. That's to me half the fun. The making videos and stuff, I'm probably never going to get rich off this. So, and that's not really my goal coming into it, I just I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be fishing anyway, whether I'm making videos. So I thought, hey, this is a way I could share with other people, maybe help them out in some way. Or maybe some of my little nieces one day when they get old will look back and see me back when I was young and cool and could do stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and that was what I was going to say too. Is besides the memories and stuff, people can go back and watch, and you have something, your kids or your grandkids, they can say, "Hey, this was your dad, your grandpa, whatever."
Right.
I want to watch it for a minute, but the cool thing is exactly what you just said. This has given us a different community outside of the stupid stuff we see on Facebook and all the bickering and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that doesn't somewhat happen here and there, and you get things in here, and we try to remove that stuff. But this is some common mind like-minded folks that just enjoy fishing and talking with each other, and that's kind of what it is. And we keep it's just to that is we're BSing, we're having fun, we're doing a little bit of fishing, and we're doing a little bit of educating and stuff like that, and we don't have to deal with all that other stuff if we don't want to, right? We can push it right out of this chat if it came on and move on. Right? And,
yeah, it's a nice getaway from the mundane, from work and politics and all that junk happening. It's just nice coming here and just talk about fishing and just shoot the bull and pick on each other a little bit and just have some fun, man.
I would never pick on anybody. But gentlemen,
we are not saying you. I know you wouldn't, Chad.
We are. Oh my god. We are now over the limit. I'm just kidding. We're at an hour and 1 minute. So, Richard, I really do appreciate you. Especially on such short notice, coming on tonight. Really, had a great night talking to you, Freddie. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Me too. I appreciate it. Appreciate you inviting me on, and I really appreciate getting to meet both of you.
Absolutely.
Yes, we'll meet.
Thanks for everybody to watch. Absolutely.
We will say thank you to everybody that came in and watched tonight and supported. We had a great crowd tonight. Definitely appreciate it. And hopefully everybody will step on over to Panfish Nation and check out the flopping crappie. You're really pushing for strike 3, mister. All right. We will see you guys and gals next week. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Good night. God bless.
You're really trying to you threw me all the way off with that daggone 40. Oh my goodness.